Warikoo went on to pursue an MS Astronomy and Astrophysics from Michigan State University. He is also an MBA in Finance from Indian School of Business. Mr. Warikoo worked with companies like A.T. Kearney, Rocket Internet, Groupon, and was also the board member for the Next Generation Leaders Board at Indian School of Business. Mr. Ankur Warikoo has a number of accolades to his credit, one of them being LinkedIn India Top Voice 2018, LinkedIn India Power Profilers 2018, Social Media Entrepreneur of the Year 2017, Fortune India 40 Under 40 list, India's Most Promising Entrepreneur Award 2013, India's Top 25 Executives Below 40 Years 2013, ISB Young Leader Award 2005-2006. He defines himself quite clearly as an internet entrepreneur, public speaker, writer, angel investor, visiting faculty, and has an interesting motto that I shall allow him to say himself. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Ankur Warikoo.
Thinking of what is it that I could possibly tell you that would set you up for the next 3 to 4 years of having a wondrous experience as an IILM University student. And I reflected back to my days. I joined Hindu College back in 1998. I'm really old. And I remember my first day was almost disappointment, because when I reached there, I saw these fascinatingly smart students all around me. I did physics honors, and there was someone from English, BCom, Eco, philosophy, Hindi, Sanskrit, and I was getting to meet these people for the first time. I came in from a very traditional convent-educated boys' school, so as it is, women interaction was virtually next to zero. So it was a completely different world. And I was expecting a lot. I was super excited about everything that the administration will tell us about the next 3 years, what to expect and how. I thought at the end of the day, they left me with anecdotes and tips and tricks of what I already thought college was all about. It was almost like an extension to school. They told me to study properly. They told me to always be focused. They told me to be disciplined. They told me that these next 3 years there will be so many opportunities that you always have to watch out for what you choose and so on. And while all of these things are absolutely right, necessary, it left me handicapped कि मुझे पता नहीं था ये करना कैसे. मुझे ये पता था कि करना क्या है. And that's almost like the irony of life. Our parents always tell us, ये करो, ये मत करो, and there are of course a lot of parents, so I see them nodding already. We're always told by our friends, ये करते हैं, ये नहीं करते हैं, by our brothers, sisters, and everyone. But somehow, from the why to do something to what to do, the journey of how to do it gets lost. And that to me is the most important part about living life. Because virtually every one of you knows what you want to do, but you don't possibly know how to get there. It could be a job, it could be a fulfilling career, it could be a very unorthodox career, it could be getting married to the best person possible, it could be not getting married ever, it could be buying a house at 35 or not buying a house ever, it could be driving the fanciest car or not having done that. Whatever is it that your life choices are, in some sense you already know that. But the hardest thing is to cross over from where you are to how you get there. So my job here today is not to tell you what you should be doing. You already know that. You're super smart. You're at a great place. And if not today, you will finally get there. My job here is to actually tell you how to possibly navigate that journey. And these are 3 things that I wish I was told when I joined college several years back. And I leave you with that thought, knowing very well that the minute you walk out of the door, you will forget everything that I say. There's just too much excitement, there's so much happening in your life, there's just so many things that you want to do in the next few years that it's possible you will instantly forget everything that I have to tell. But what I hope is that 3 months, 6 months, maybe even 2 years, 3 years down the line, these things come back to you and in some way make you reflect on what is it that you need to do to navigate this journey. Number 1, as humans, our natural propensity in life is to be with people that are very similar to us. That's what we have done all our lives. We've made friends that are very similar to us. We watch the same Netflix shows. We like the same Instagram posts. We're watching the same TikTok videos, or maybe we hate TikTok. We don't understand what it is. We're eating the same kind of food. We're visiting the same kind of places. We're wearing the same kind of clothes. It's this very high sense of familiarity that we live by. And then you come to this world. There are 200 odd of you, and there are very quickly, if not already, but the minute you step out and you're left alone from this disciplined routine and get to navigate this university on your own, the first thing that will happen is that you'll start forming groups of people who are like you. Right? So instantly WhatsApp groups बनने शुरू हो जाएंगे. Delhi University WhatsApp group, South Delhi WhatsApp group, I hate South Delhi WhatsApp group, Sarojini Nagar WhatsApp group, Lajpat Nagar WhatsApp group, let's go Netflix WhatsApp group, Game of fucking Thrones, Game of all that. All of these things, right? It's just endless how we get to instantly associate with people who are like us, with similar interests, similar worldview, similar ways of looking at the world. The irony is that you will only advance in life if you actually get to spend time with people who are not like you, who are nothing like you, who actually challenge you in every possible worldview that you have. So if you look around, and you'll find people that you possibly think you will never relate to. Their ideology is different, their mindset is different, how they look, how they speak, what they wear is different, where they've come from is different. But my admission is that this time in your life is possibly the best time where you introduce yourself to a completely new perspective on life. And the first thing that you do is by spending time with people who are not like you. Spend time with people who are not like you. Do not amplify your already strongly held worldview. And social media is such a big culprit of that. Like when you go to Facebook, when you go to Instagram, when you go to any other such social media, you don't see things that challenge your worldview. You see things that you already agree with. So if you believe that, let's not go there, but if you believe that there is something very strongly that you held, you will see enough content and enough people speaking about it and enough people talking about it, so it almost makes you feel like, yes, I agree, like, double click, I agree. Like that's the motive of social media. It never challenges your worldview. It never gets you to think that is there a different way of looking at the same problem. And the best thing that you can possibly do these next few years is to spend time with people who are not like you and almost make it into a habit. Every day, when you come to this university and you possibly have a break or a lunch, don't have lunch with people who are your friends. You're of course going to have lunch with them any other day. Have lunch with people who you do not know of, that you would almost think कि इससे तो मैं कभी दोस्ती नहीं करूँगा. Almost like that, because that is when you will genuinely get to understand a different perspective, a completely different way of looking at things. I go back to my life, and I'm not proud of what I'm going to say, but it's the reality, so I'll admit it any day. I was this super studious academic person, physics honors करिए तो पता ही चल ही रहा होगा, like this geeky guy, कुछ idea नहीं है, life कैसे जीते हैं, जिंदगी असली में क्या होती है. And I used to look down upon people who used to smoke, who used to drink, who used to party on Friday, Saturday nights. And when I say look down, I actually looked down upon them. Like I felt that they were bad people. They were the ones who would grow up to kill people, become murderers, like become criminals and spoil this very nicely held society and mankind. So I actually detested spending time with anyone who used to smoke, who used to drink, who used to party, because I almost felt like they were wasting their life and had zero control over themselves. It's only when I began to see them for who they are beyond these facades and these stupid boundaries that we create in our own head, did I realize that they are exactly the same or possibly even better human beings than I am. And they're indulging in this for a very different reason, which I understood once I was able to empathize with. But it took me a lot to break this notion. And I feel bad about the fact that I spent
3 wonderful years of my college in Delhi University North Campus, meeting with the sharpest people, but almost saying no to a section that I, in my head, had constructed and thought negatively about. That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And I wish someone back then told me, you know what, everyone does something for a reason. And if you begin to understand the reason, you may agree and still disagree with the reason, but at least you begin to appreciate the reason of why people are the way they are. And that gives you a very strong perspective of who you are. Because you've just grown up in a very closed way of school and parenting and all the values that our parents have entrusted in us, but that could be different from what the world is outside. So number one, please do not make the mistake of spending time with people who you closely associate with. They're always going to be there. You have to watch out for them. But you will truly understand who you are when you spend time with people who are nothing like you. Number two, and this is my biggest angst in today's world. You see this beautiful infrastructure, you almost do not believe that you're in the middle of Gurgaon. Like you step into IILM University from this chaotic road right outside, navigating through all the traffic, and you come here, it's like this absolute fantasy. Green, plush, wonderful infrastructure, air-conditioned room, कुछ पता ही नहीं है बाहर कितनी गर्मी हो रही है, कितनी हमस है, कुछ नहीं पता. Like you're just wonderfully cocooned in this world that you're sitting on right now. And that is going to be more and more what you begin to expect from life. Which is, I am entitled to this lifestyle. I am entitled to this ABC thing. I am entitled to this XYZ thing. To the point you begin to stand in front of the mirror and say, oh my God, I am so awesome. The world should fall on its feet to give me all the things that I want from life. So you literally get into the mode of complaining. You get into this mode where you begin to think that the world is conniving against you to make you suffer and you have to fight it. So very soon, you'll be complaining about slow internet speed at IILM University, खाना अच्छा नहीं है, air conditioning strong नहीं है, कुर्सी टूटी हुई है, placements नहीं हो रही हैं, इतनी salary नहीं आ रही है, ये professor boring है, यहाँ इतना काम है, इतनी मेहनत करा रहे हैं, बाहर नहीं जाने दे रहे हैं, ये movie बेकार है, Uber late आ रहा है, Swiggy ठंडा खाना deliver कर रहा है. It's like endless. It is endless, the trap we fall into. And you're all laughing on it, not because you're laughing at me, it's because you relate to this and you've done it. You already have. Like, imagine the number of times we all in a day complain about random shit. Like genuinely random shit. Without pausing and stopping to just be grateful for the fact that we're sitting on these opportunities. So here's the truth, and people don't like it when I say it. None of us, including me, including Anand, including any of these elite professors sitting here, none of us deserve to be here. We are just plain lucky. We're just plain lucky. And here's the luck. The luck is that we were born into a family that took care of us, that gave us food, shelter, education, love, cared for us, gave us all the things that genuinely helped us emotionally, physically develop as a sound human being. And that's why all of us sit on opportunities that a lot of people right outside of the setup will work their ass off for their rest of their lives and will never get to see for even one day. Everything that you're blessed with is a privilege. Everything that you get to encounter is a privilege. And yet, we will fall into the trap of entitlement. We will fall into the trap of saying, I deserve this. No, you don't. Nor do I. Nor does anyone around you. We all have to get up every morning and earn our place in this world. We all have to get up every morning and earn our place in this world. And this will be amplified in a place like IILM University. because it is going to pamper you. It is going to give you that sense that you are amongst the best and are destined for the best and you deserve nothing but the best. And you will fall in the trap easier than you think. Like literally tomorrow, you will begin complaining about everything that it is because you just feel that there is a transaction. You just feel that I've paid a fees and now the job of this place is to give me a job. The job of this place is to make me academic. The job of this place is to make me a bright student. The job of this place is to get me a girlfriend, boyfriend. The job of this place is to get me great food. The job of this place is do everything that I want from life. But guess what? No one owes you anything. No one owes you anything. You have to work your way through. Do not get entitled. I saw this in a way I could not even imagine when I went from my MBA. And I'm sure a lot of you will go for your higher education. It possibly will be an MBA. It hopefully will be from a great place. And when I went to ISB, I was just shocked at the level of entitlement. And you may have heard about stories of ISB and possibly you know people who've been there. It's considered to be like that 5-star school. You don't really have to do, आप बहुत सारा पैसा किसी यूनिवर्सिटी को देते हो, वो बहुत अच्छे प्रोफेसर्स भेजते हैं, 5-star accommodation and this and that, and everyone around me I saw falling into this trap of entitlement. And it was like rocket fire. This like, oh my God, what's happened to this person? This person was this super hardworking, IIT gold medalist, done everything right in life or whatever, and now he or she is actually standing in front of the mirror saying, I deserve to be at ISB because I've worked so hard in life, and now it's ISB's job to figure my life out. It's no one's job. It's actually no one's job to figure your life out except yours. So the second thing that I would encourage you to deeply think about is do not get entitled. Do not fall in the trap where you begin complaining about everything that happens in your life. Because please realize all of us are privileged beyond belief and we haven't worked hard for it even one bit. That gets me to the third and the last point. Everything around you, every company, every person, every business has just one objective: make our lives comfortable. That's what everyone's doing, making our lives comfortable. So you want a book, click of a button. You want a meal, click of a button. You want a taxi, click of a button. You want a date, swipe right. Everything is literally happening to you at the speed of thought. You think of it, you get it. And you begin to believe that's how life works. No fault of yours. If anything, we as our generation are to be blamed for all the quote-unquote impatience that your generation exhibits. Because we have tricked you, habituated you to instant gratification. Everything that you want happens instantly. Everything that you want happens at that level of comfort that you want. So you begin to think that life's goal and objective is to get comfortable. That's all that there is. Why are my parents working so hard? To give me comfort. Why am I coming to this great place? To make my life comfortable. Why will I go through all this to make my life comfortable? Why do we get up every morning? To make my life comfortable. Everything is around making your life comfortable. Now here's the irony. The irony is when you look across the world, and particularly when you look at people that inspire you, that you look up to, that you would want to be, they consciously do not live a life of comfort. They in fact chase the uncomfortable path. They chase the challenging path. They chase the harder path because that's what makes people. That's what gives you the best out of you. That's what brings out what is truly the best in you. When you choose a path that is harder than what the world is going for. When you choose a path that is more uncomfortable than everything else. Now in college and university life, you will very quickly start aligning yourself to the level of comfort. Assignment आई, 3 लोग हो ग्रुप में, तू आधा कर, मैं आधा करूंगी, वो आधा करेगा, नाम लग देंगे, मेहनत नहीं करेंगे, 5 बजे की assignment 4:30 बजे submit होगी, everything will be nice. You'll try and squeeze that half an hour to watch Netflix. You'll try and squeeze that half an hour to do something that you know you shouldn't be doing, but you will do. You'll try and optimize for your sleep. You'll try and get all groggy, but you'll be like all present in class, last row mein, kuch aise, sideline pe. Everything will be around optimizing for your level of comfort. Now that's, in my opinion, crazy, because here's the best part about college life. Nothing that you do these years will screw up your life. Unless, of course, it's illegal. But nothing that you do in college will ever screw up your life. Your first job does not matter. Your grades do not matter. How you did well or did not do well did not matter eventually in life. Which means the best thing about this college life is you can actually do everything that you've always been scared of and not have to suffer the impact of that. How cool is that? Imagine that you get to be or become anyone that you wish to, and nothing bad will ever happen. If you want to be a great public speaker, you can come up on stage every single day for the next 3 years, and people will, laugh at you, mock you, but nothing bad is going to happen for you in your life. If you want to get up early and get habituated to that, you can do that. It will be hard, but nothing bad will happen to you in your life. If you want to explore a completely new dimension of your life, you signed up for computer science engineering, but you want to maybe dabble in fashion and design, you go ahead and do that, and nothing bad will happen to you in your life. You do not get this opportunity ever again. And I cannot stress upon that, and I know I'm sounding like this dad-like thing, ki ye kar lo, wo kar lo, but I cannot begin to tell you how important this point is. You're not going to get these 3 years back. And the best thing about these 3 years is not the freedom you get, it's not the fact that you'll be staying away from home or chasing a girlfriend or a boyfriend or having these nice meals. The best thing about these 3 years is that you can do whatever you want and nothing will happen to your life. Now the question is, what will you do? And my admission is that this is the time when you do not get comfortable. This is the time when you genuinely pull yourself and challenge yourself on every single day basis. Do something that scares you, literally scares you. The number of people who after college do not know how to cold call someone. The number of people who after college do not know how to write an email. The number of people who do not know how to approach someone in a gathering or a social setup. The number of people who do not know how to public speak. The number of people who are still scared of numbers. The number of people who think maths is something they will never pick up. The number of people who do not know how to make friends. The number of people who do not know how to get professional acquaintances done. All of this is not something that college will teach you formally, but it will give you everything that you can test and dabble with. And now it's your job to do it. But you will get comfortable. But you will fall and get seduced by this comfortable life. And that is when everything breaks loose. Because then you will graduate, you will get a job, you will get your grades, you will do everything that your parents had asked you to check box and you had mentally, but you will just graduate out of college, pretty much the same person that you were in school, just with another degree. And that's a waste of 3 years. It's the waste of the best 3 years of your life, because you're never going to get it back. So these 3 things. Do not spend time with people who are like you. They're only going to amplify your world beliefs, not challenge it. And that is the worst way that you can possibly live. This very heterogeneous mix that has come from across the country with very different mindsets. Do not feel entitled. Do not feel that you deserve anything. We all have to work our way through every single day. We all have to ensure that someone who could have been rightfully on our seat today is not, and I am on his or her seat. I have to earn that spot. And number 3, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. That's the worst thing you can do, especially this college years. I'll end with one thing that I've begun to strongly believe in, and I say this only when I'm speaking to a really young crowd such as yourself. every one of you, like, you possibly don't know this, so let me give you a glimpse into the future. One of your interviews, and sooner or later you'll sit for one, you'll get asked this question. What would you do if you knew that this was the last day on earth for you? It's a stupid question in my opinion. I don't know what they're expecting as an answer. I think deep down when bosses ask this question, they're almost expecting the person to say, I will complete the job you gave me, sir. And that's when I will die. Like, what do you expect? Of course we'll quit this job. I will call my parents, apologize for all the shit that I've given them my entire life, call my friends and family and brothers and sisters and tell them that I love them, and then die peacefully. But here's an interesting question. How would you go about living life if you knew that you're never going to die? How would you begin to live life if you knew that you're never going to die? The reason why this question is important for this audience, for most of you, is because it is a very, very strong likelihood that you are not going to die. That medical advancements would make sure that none of you are going to die a natural death. Yeah, you may get shot and hit by something or so on and so forth, God forbid, but you're not going to die of natural death. Which means you now have to plan for a life which is 150 years plus. So everything that you've been taught so far, everything is useless. None of us are equipped to help you. Because now you're not planning for 40 years of professional career, you're definitely not planning for only one marriage in your life, you're definitely not planning for, oh, I will start here, do an MBA, then get a job, and then work, and then retire, and then go to Rishikesh or someplace nice. None of that. You actually have no playbook, and you now have to live for 150 years, of which about 20 is roundabout gone, right? So say another 130 or so. And here's my way. We do not know, no one in this world is equipped to answer this question, but what we do know is this. The only way that you can prepare yourself for living 150 years if you know how to constantly change yourself every 30 years. That's the only way. Because you possibly can't be the same person, living with the same person, doing the same job for 150 years. You will just drop dead. And you know that. Like, you will literally come home, suck yourself into Netflix and popcorn and chips and bad pizza and just literally die on that sofa. And that is not what you would want. So now, you have to find a way of changing who you are every 30 years. Changing your career, possibly changing your partner, changing your worldview, changing the world you're in. Because after 30 years, and we're what, in 2019, 20? Take it from me, in 30 years, you will now have a choice of not Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, but Earth and Mars. Like, do you want to leave your family and go on a one-way ticket to Mars? I don't know how many will sign up for that, but it's a very likelihood scenario, and it's quite possible that Google's best office will be on Mars and not on Earth anymore. Because that's where they find the best people, and now if you want to work for Google, you have to go there. How does that work? And you're all laughing, of course, because it sounds so frivolous. It's not science fiction. This is going to happen. What I'm stressing upon is that the ability to embrace change and make change happen is the only superpower that the world needs now. Because the easiest thing that we all have been trained and now are good at is to continue to live the way we are forever and ever. हम ऐसे ही हैं, हम ऐसे ही रहेंगे, हम ऐसे ही मरेंगे. मैं सुबह जल्दी नहीं उठ सकता. मैं जिम नहीं जाऊंगा. मैं नेटफ्लिक्स देख के रहूंगा. मुझे आज पिज्जा खाना ही है. मैं उससे बात नहीं कर सकता. All these, in my language, सरकारी पना statements that we made, right? Because this is reflective of this. आप MTNL के ऑफिस जाएंगे, तो सर ये बिल मेरा 24,000 का आ गया है, मैंने लास्ट 10 साल से MTNL का फोन नहीं यूज किया. तो मैंने सर ये ऐसा ही है. They don't have an answer. The only admission that they have is we are like this only. Right? That's the only way. And I say that the worst bureaucracy is actually in our own heads. Because how many times do we actually repeat the same thing to others? I am like this only. I'm like this only. I'm like this only. And those who are going to make it in life, and those who are going to genuinely make a difference to everything that's around you, are the ones who will say, I don't know who I am, and I'm ready to find out. I don't know who I am, and I'm ready to change. I don't know who I am, but I'm willing to become someone else. That is powerful. And if you, in these 3 years, can train yourself of that mindset, it doesn't matter whether you graduate with a BBA or a computer science or a history or a fashion or a philosophy degree. What will matter is that you now know how to absolutely change your life whenever you want. And that is a superpower. Welcome to IILM, and have a fantastic time. Thank you.